The football's back. Manchester United are finally returning to the Premier League football. Been far too long for Manchester United. The pre-season hasn't completely gone to plan for Manchester United, but the season is upon us now, and we just have to start the way Manchester United start. That we're not the only club with problems at this moment in time. We've seen the Community Shield where Manchester City have had to put out a number of players that wouldn't normally play in these types of games because of the Euros, and Manchester United are going to be a bit the same. Yes, these Manchester clubs, Chelsea, the likes of them, Liverpool, have spent big money over the last few years, but when you're without key players, it does affect you, and Manchester United are going to be going into this with potentially players missing from their squad, and that's going to affect Manchester United more than Leeds. But we've just got to get on with it and accept what's going on for Manchester United, and we're still going to have a fair team out there, so there can be no excuses for Manchester United if we don't get the job done with whatever lineup we put out against Leeds. But from what we've seen over the last week or so, there certainly won't be a full strength lineup. Now obviously the big one is Marcus Rashford. That is stupid. Manchester United could have got that sorted before the Euros, and he'd missed the Euros and then he could have played for Manchester United. Manchester United are the club that pays the bulk of his salary each year. The rest comes from maybe the odd England appearance that he makes here and there, and sponsorship deals, social media shit, whatever else he does, he makes obviously money from, but his bulk of his salary comes from Manchester United. He should have had that surgery and been available for this game, but it's disappointing he's not. Cavani is also missing from the squad, which is a bit disappointing. Solskjaer's giving him extra time off, which the fact that Rashford's out is a big blow. I would have sooner him come back, but it is what it is, and there's other potential players that may not feature as well, so it is a bit worrying for Manchester United. Now Leeds have probably got almost a fully fit squad to pick from. I haven't read too much into what Leeds have been doing in pre-season, but I would expect them to be a lot more fully fit and ready for this game than Manchester United. But we've got to be on our toes for this game. We're at Old Trafford playing Leeds. We smashed them 6-2 at home last season, and we've got to be up for this. We've got to get the 3 points in this opening game. We can't do catch up again like we did last season, which almost basically killed our title hopes off in the first few weeks. I mean, losing at home to Crystal Palace on the opening day of last season was a massive kick in the arse for Manchester United, and we can't have a similar thing to that this time around. So we'll be going into it hopefully in confident mood. Some players have had some minutes in that previous game against Everton, so we will have to wait and see what happens on this encounter, but there are still players that are absent. So obviously going through what we think is going to be Manchester United's sort of team for this game of the weekend, I think that he's obviously going to pick David De Gea in goal for this one. Maguire and Lindelof will be the centre halves. Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka will be the full-back, so a similar back four to what we put out on numerous occasions last season, so not too many problems there. Obviously Varane would have come in probably for Victor Lindelof if things had been different, but he still hasn't at present signed the contract as we speak in this video, and the announcement will probably come Thursday or Friday, so that then leaves little time for him to make that game, maybe along the substitutes bench, and maybe he could get 10-15 minutes if Manchester United are winning comfortably, but the likelihood is he'll maybe feature in the following weekend's game after a full training session. Now midfield is real conundrum for Manchester United. Will he go with Fred and McTominay in there? Fred hasn't played a lot of football for Manchester United for a while, so he was injured at the back end of the season and didn't start that Europa League final. He's played in the Copa America, so he should be fresh to play for Manchester United. But obviously he's had time off after that, so I think the players that have played in Euro squads are probably fresher and raring to go than the other players, because the other players are not sort of are ready to go, are they? The other players, the likes of Sancho are not ready to play for Manchester United. Yes, they've had a lot of time off because they haven't really featured in the Euros, but are they in the mode to play, not having played football? That is where the problem is. So Fred's probably able to kick on and start because he hasn't really had much of a time off. So it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't go with Fred, McTominay in midfield, which has been the tried and trusted for him in big games for Solskjaer for Manchester United, and this is still a massive game for Manchester United. Leeds at home is always a massive game, and I think he's going to go with Bruno Fernandes in there. I've got a feeling he might go with Pogba on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Martial up front. I'm not sure he's going to start Sancho. I think he'll be along the substitutes bench for this game. And I wouldn't personally want to see Dan James start, but he may go down that route and play Pogba and McTominay in midfield, and then bring Dan James in on the left-hand side. But there is some different options for him to play, but going with the striking option of Anthony Martial is probably the best out of the situation Manchester United have got. We know Edison Cavani, but the problem is he's come out today and said that he's not fully fit yet, and it's going to take him 3 or 4 weeks to get fully fit. And we know he was injured a lot at the back end of last season and didn't feature for quite a few months at the end of the season, which is a worry for Manchester United, because he's going to have to be leading the line probably for the first 2 or 3 games for Manchester United. And if he's not fully fit, we haven't really got another centre forward. I'm not even convinced he is a centre forward, but Greenwood has flattered to deceive when he's played in that number 9 position, even in pre-season. So they're the only 2 real options at the moment, because Elanga is injured. So I don't think he's going to throw Elanga in the starting lineup anyway at this moment in time. But we probably will see the likes of Sancho come off the substitutes bench in this game. I know Donny van de Beek and Matic played quite well against Everton in the final pre-season friendly, but I wouldn't expect that to be a midfield partnership that he's going to go for in this particular game. I just don't see him going for that. I think he was giving players game time. I mean, but you never know with Solskjaer, but I think he does tend to go with the team that he knows and doesn't want to tinker too much with it, but we will have to wait and see. But he has come out basically and said that he wants a bigger squad this season to have, because of the impact of the coronavirus, and potentially players missing, because we've got Lingard missing because of the coronavirus, and obviously injuries as well, and he's expecting a big long season, another 55 to 60 game season. And hopefully with the addition of Sancho into the team, it will allow Martial to be on the substitutes bench and Greenwood on the substitutes bench more often, than them players being able to come off the substitutes bench rather than bringing off the bench the likes of Juan Mata and Dan James. No disrespect to them, but they weren't good enough, which was why he left it so late in the Europa League final to make the changes. Anyway, that's my thoughts on how Manchester United could potentially line up with this team. I mean, obviously there's been talks of him wanting to implement a more attacking style of play, and only playing one of McTominay or Fred, but we haven't got all the personnel in the team at this moment in time, and I think it may well evolve over the season, but we will have to wait and see on that situation. Anyway, and let's just see where it goes. But obviously Leeds, we know what Leeds are about. They're a good attacking side. They score a lot of goals, let quite a few in. Will Calvin Phillips feature in this game? He's been a very good player for them and for England in the Euros, so will remain to be seen whether he features, but I presume most of their other players are raring to go. He probably will be okay to play, but did play for England in the Euros. And Bamford obviously up front is going to be a problem for Manchester United. Scored a number of goals last season, so we've got to keep an eye on him. Rafinha, got a lot of good players at Leeds, so they could cause Manchester United a lot of problems. We know what they're like, and it's going to be a difficult game. Hopefully an attacking game for Manchester United, and hopefully Manchester United can get the job done. I'm going to go for Manchester United winning this game. I've got to put my neck on the line. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Manchester United. I think I'm going to probably will concede in this game, but hoping the attacking prowess of the likes of Martial, whether it's Pogba, Greenwood, if Sancho comes and features in this game, Bruno Fernandes, there is still a lot of attacking options there, even with the likes of Rashford and Cavani missing. So I expect Manchester United still to create chances and hopefully score goals, as we did against Everton. I know it was only a pre-season game, but Everton did put a fairly strong lineup out in that game. We did score 4 goals. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you see this game going for Manchester United? Do you think we'll start with 3 points? Got to get off to a good start this season. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're watching this on Facebook, please hit that share button, and hopefully be back again after the game, hopefully with a win. Talk to you soon.